Monday, March 4th, 2024, I've got one NBA total feed, one NBA player prop, and also one college basketball best bet. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Leading back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as you just try to get to the bag together and make some money. Now, let's do a quick recap from the weekend. On Friday, we went 2-1 on the channel to start off the month of March. You absolutely love to see it. We cashed in on college basketball best bet. We took Cornell on the spread. It was a little bit of a sweat in the first half, but they got it done. Then we also took Brandon Ingram's points. No sweat bet there as he went over his total very easily in the first half. We did lose on Karl Anthony Towns' points. I mean, Cat, I don't know what bro was doing. Anthony Edwards left the game early. Game went into overtime, and bro still didn't get his points. All he wants to do is hang out the three-point line. I don't know if Cat's going to make it on many more of my tickets. I feel like he's on that banned list a little bit, but that's all right. We're going to bounce back. On Saturday, we did a short where I gave you about every hour, I gave you guys a pick and play. We didn't go as good as the last time we did a blitz. We only went 4-7 as we did have some tough losses. We did have a few losses on the hook. So 4-7 on the Saturday slate. So you can see our year-to-date record now for the month of March over the last 2 days. 6-8 to kind of get us going here. But hey, the month is still young. It's still early. Guess what? It's March Madness time. It's conference tournament time. So there's going to be a ton of opportunities to make money. And guess what? There's going to be a lot of live betting opportunities as well. So if you want some of those live numbers or some of the other picks and plays I'm dropping, click the link in the description, join the free Discord group where I'm going to be dropping a ton of winners all month long, and I'll also have a lot of live call outs as well, because the lines sometimes are not going to be the best pregame, but we're going to get a lot better value live, especially with some of these big favorites. Appreciate all love and support, and everybody who's hit that subscribe button. And now let's dive into these best bets. For my first best bet of the day, you guys are probably knowing where I'm headed. I'm going to go to an angle that we've been exploring on the channel over the last few weeks. And yesterday, if you took this angle, you would have went 8-0 because NBA unders went 8-0 yesterday on a Sunday card. We took a few in the Discord group. Listen, it's been cashing. I know some people here who watch the channel say, I'm not a fan of taking unders. I get it. I used to be the same exact way, but one of my boys put it in perspective for me one time and said, the under bet, guess what? It's the only bet where you are constantly always winning. And when I thought about that, I was like, you're right. Like, start the bet a winner and then you have the chance to go out a winner all at the same time. So I kind of like that kind of way to think about it. It's a new way to programming your mind. So listen, if you're not into unders, I get it, but it's been cashing at an amazing clip in the NBA. And we're going to keep going back to it because we've got two playoff teams today who are going head to head. And I like this one to go under. We're going to go with the Bucks and we're going to go with the Clippers under 227.5 minus 115 odds. Now this line's already moved from about 229, so that lets you know a lot of money's coming in on the unders, and rightfully so. Both of these teams have been in an under wagon of late. The Bucks have gone under in 5 straight games. They went under against Chicago in their last game. They went under against Charlotte in their game before that. They went under against Charlotte in the game before that. They went under against Philly. They went under against Minnesota. So listen, 5 straight unders for this Bucks team. Yes, 4 of those 5 games were on the road, and the Bucks are an over team at home. 18-13 to the over at home this year, but overall there's 30-31 to the under as a team this year. And now you have a Clippers team that's coming in here who are 23-34 to the under on the year, 12-17 to the under on the road. They've gone under in 4 of their last 5 games. The only game where they went over was against Washington, where they blew them out 140-115, and that game was against the Wizards, who play 0 defense. And when you got 2 playoff teams going at each other, I mean, we've seen this over the last few days. We saw that yesterday with the Warriors and the Celtics. That wasn't really much of a ball game, but that game went under. We saw that yesterday in the Mavs and Sixers game. That game went under. 2 playoff teams. The Cavaliers and the Knicks. That game went under. 2 playoff teams. So a lot of these playoff matchups are going under. We've taken it several times last week, and I'm doing it again because now we've got something to play for. You're testing out your team, trying to see if you guys are ready for the postseason. Postseason's right around the corner in the NBA. Every game matters now post All-Star break. If you're trying to get position and seeding and try not to get in the play-in games. Both of these teams are pretty much high up in their conference standings, but especially the Clippers, they have to be careful because you lose 3-4 games in a row, that stacked Western Conference, before you know it, you go from a 2 to 3 seed all the way down to the 7-8 seed, which you don't want to happen. So for me, I'm going to go with 2 teams that have been playing a lot of defense of late. If you even look at their scoring numbers, the Bucks are second in the NBA points per game, averaging 121 points per game, but over their last 3 games, they have dropped down to 116 points per game. So about 6 points or less they're averaging over the last 3-4 games. Meanwhile, the Clippers, they're going from 117 points a game down to 113 points per game over the last several games. So again, we've seen a hit take on the offensive side, and look at their defensive numbers. Milwaukee, who has not been known for their defense all year, giving about 117 points per game. Over their last 3 games, 94 points per game they've allowed. And meanwhile, for the Clippers, a top 10 in points allowed per game, only giving about 113 points per game. Over their last 3-4 games, that number has dropped down to 106. So for me, I'm just going to go with what the trend is saying. I'm going to go with the numbers are telling me. No too crazy analysis here. All these teams have been going under. The under trend has been hitting. As long as we keep getting value on the numbers in the 230s, 240s against playoff teams, I'm going to keep taking it. It could go over, yes, but the way that both of these teams have been playing, I think defense is going to take the precedent here, and I'm going to just go with the under. That's been cashing at an amazing rate in the NBA. So give me under 237.5 is our first best bet of the day. Now, for our second best bet of the day, we are going to go to a player prop here, and we're going to get some amazing line value, so I absolutely love it. It's a guy that's made us some money on the channel before, and I actually exploited this angle when he started this hot streak because he was on a very cold streak, and he's facing the team that started this kind of scoring streak for him. We're going with De'Aaron Fox over 24.5 points, minus 110 odds. Now, De'Aaron Fox did miss the last few games with a bone bruise, so I think that we're getting a little bit of value here because of that. And he logged the full practice yesterday, according to reports, and now he's facing a Chicago team that he's faced one time this year, which was earlier last month. But guess what? He dropped 41 points in that game. I expect him to do something very similar today. And before he missed the last 2 games with that bone bruise, he was starting to get it going offensively. He had 5 straight games when he went over this total. He scored 40 points, 30 points, 28 points, 33 points, and 27 points. That's exactly what we're looking for from De'Aaron Fox. And he faced some pretty good defensive teams in that process. He faced the Heat. He faced the Clippers. He faced the Nuggets. He faced the Suns. So we're not talking about just teams and the Spurs. Wembanyama with his defense there. Like, we're not talking about teams that are just like slouchy, like the Pacers, the Wizards, right? We're talking about teams that he had to go out there and get buckets. And I think today is going to be nothing different against a Chicago Bulls team that has shown that they will give up points to point guards. De'Aaron Fox should come into this game rested, ready to go. He's averaging 26.9 points per game. So I think we're getting a little bit of a discount here because of the injury. So for me, I'm not overthinking it. I think the volume is going to be there. The minutes should be there as long as he plays a full 30-plus minute game. If he's on a minute restriction because of the injury, that's a little bit different. Big game for the Kings in this matchup as well, as they're still trying to fight for positioning and seeding there in the Western Conference. Currently, they're sitting at 6 in the conference. But listen, you lose 2 or 3 games here, they can find themselves right back down into that playing position. So I'm not overthinking it here. It's a low number against a team that can be scored against. If De'Aaron Fox is efficient from the field, we should be good. We're getting the volume over the last 5 games. Like I mentioned, he's averaging over 22 attempts per game. So if he's shooting it that amount of times, there's no reason why we should not get over 24.5 points. Not overthinking it. Keep it real simple today. Give me De'Aaron Fox over 24.5 points. Second best bet. My third best bet of the day, we're going to go to a college game. And I know this slate's a little bit ugly. We got Duke playing NC State. I'm not a big fan of that game. Baylor might be in a tough bounce back spot against Texas, even though I do think they won that matchup. But we're going to go to the ASUN that starts today, the first of the conference tournaments that start. Low seeds are playing, so not too much of the most spectacular of basketball. But hey, it's playoff time in college basketball, and you know what? We got to handicap something. I'm going to go with the favorite today. We got Kennesaw State taking on the Jacksonville Dolphins, and I am going to go with Kennesaw State minus 3.5, minus 110 odds. They are favored to win this game. If you just want to take them on the money line, I'm not opposed with that. Putting them on like pairing them with Duke or pairing them with Baylor, not opposed to that. KenPom has this as a 1-point win for Kennesaw State, but because it's under the key number of 4, I'm willing to lay the 3.5, get the extra free throws, maybe a missed shot at the end, gets us over the hump. But Kennesaw State has kind of been a disappointment this year, considering they were a team that went to the NCAA tournament last year, but considering they lost their head coach, who's now at USF, and is probably one of the reasons why they're having the amazing season that they're having. They also lost a lot of their key production, including their best player, Chris Youngblood, who also went to USF with their coach. So we see Kennesaw State having to have a rebound year to 15-15 on the year. They went 6-10 in conference play and dropped their last 2 conference games. But the thing about Kennesaw State that I like is they play really fast. They're the number 1 team in college basketball in terms of possession on the offensive side of the ball. 4th in offensive tempo. They shoot the ball well from the 2-point range, about 74th in all college basketball 2-point percentage. But this team really has to figure out on the defensive side of the ball, ranked 301 in defensive efficiency. Now they're playing a Jacksonville team that is good on the defensive side of the ball, but they suck offensively, right? 306 in offensive efficiency is this Jacksonville team, and they turn over the ball a ton on the offensive side. So they don't really do anything spectacular on the offensive side is the Jacksonville Dolphins. And that's why I like Kennesaw State to win this game, because Kennesaw is weak defensively, but they are strong offensively. But Jacksonville is weak offensively and decent on the defensive side. So I'm going to go with the team that plays faster. Jacksonville plays at a really slow pace, 274th in tempo. And then when you also look at these teams that faced off this year, Kennesaw State swept the season series. They won at Jacksonville 83-79 back in January, and they also won at home 66-61 against this Jacksonville team. So covering the spread both times. If you've ever played organized basketball in a tournament setting before, then you know that beating the same team 3 times in the season is very, very hard to do. I don't disagree with that, but I do have to go with Kennesaw State here, as I think they are going to get it done. This Jacksonville program has struggled all season long, and if you just can't really score the ball in March, can your defense save you? Yes. But when you're playing against a team that likes to play fast and is not going to slow down for anybody, like this Kennesaw State team does not slow down for anybody, I'd like their chances today to get this win. They started off conference tournament play well, Kennesaw State, but over the back half stretch, January, late January until now, they struggled, only winning 2 of their last 11 games. So it's not something that I'm not really a big fan of the form that they're in. But again, all of the slates clean come conference tournament time, because guess what? It's win, you move on. If you lose, you go home. So I'm just going to go with the better team here, the higher seed here. So give me Kennesaw State minus 3.5. But again, if you're not really feeling that pick, then you might just want to take them on the money line and then pair them with like Baylor, Duke, or another favorite on the money line. But we do have 2 A-Sun tournament games today in the first round, and I do think both of the favorites win. Florida Gulf Coast is the other team that I think does win, who's also favored in the first round of the tournament. But as long as we're getting it below that 3.5 number, which is kind of like that key free throw number for me, then I'm cool with it. But again, play around with it, see what you want to do. But I think Kennesaw State handles business. They beat this team twice already. Tempo was the reason why they were able to do that, and I think they were able to run it back today for a 3rd time this season. So give me Kennesaw State minus 3.5 as our 3rd and final best bet of the day. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. 3 best bets, 3 winners that are headed your way today. Give me the Clips and Bucks under 227.5. Give me De'Aaron Fox to go over his 24.5 points. And then give me Kennesaw State to win their first round of the tournament. Minus 3.5 on the spread there. And if you want more of my best bets, other picks and plays that will drop throughout the day, make sure you click the link in the description. I'll see you guys in the Discord group. Let's have a day. Let's make some cheddar. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Later, gang.